I want to quickly introduce Andrew Seidel, who's going to tell you about the FFRF's Nothing Fails Like Prayer Award, which he dreamed up after our legal team was brainstorming about what to do when, notice I didn't say if, the Supreme Court ruled wrongly in the Greece versus Galloway and Stevens litigation over governmental prayer. And we'll be honoring Linda Stevens and Susan Galloway tomorrow night after the Saturday banquet, but we are interspersing the 3 winners of FFRF's new award throughout the program. And Andrew became FFRF's 4th staff attorney 3 years ago, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
So like Annie Laurie said, we were dismayed when the Supreme Court blessed sectarian prayer at government meetings. Dismayed, but not completely surprised. When we were writing our brief to the court asking them to get rid of prayers altogether, the staff attorneys were brainstorming, and we came up with an idea that if they were going to allow prayers, and they were going to allow prayers to Jesus Christ, they ought to allow messages that say, hey, maybe there is no God. Maybe there isn't a Jesus Christ. The idea being to get atheists and other freethinkers in and give messages at these meetings. So when the decision came down on May 5th and it did not go our way, we were all quickly reading through it, and we noticed that that is what the court agreed to. They said that if you're going to have these prayer opportunities, they have to be equal opportunity prayers. So we launched the Nothing Fails Like Prayer contest. We had 16 entries in the 3 months that it was open. We ended up selecting 3 winners because it was so fantastic, a round of entrants, and the contest is ongoing. We're going to not stop the contest until the prayers stop. So if your local council or city government is praying, get in there and give your own atheist message. And our first officiant, who's going to come up here and give the prayer in just a moment, is Amanda Novotny. She gave a prayer in, I need to get it right because I messed it up earlier, Sioux Falls, South Dakota at the city council meeting. And it was one of my favorite prayers. She quoted a wise, magical man with a very long white beard, but it's not who you think it is. So Amanda, why don't you come up and give your invocation?
First of all, I just want to thank everyone and thank the FFRF for this amazing opportunity. Like most of you, I was hoping for a different ruling to come from Greece versus Galloway, but that didn't really happen. So about 5 minutes after I heard the ruling, I called the Sioux Falls City office, and within about 15 minutes, I had scheduled to be on the agenda for the August 5th meeting. So this is the invocation that I gave. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, citizens of Sioux Falls, and all those present for this opportunity to provide an inspirational opening to your meeting. Often at this time, you are asked to bow your heads. Instead, I ask you to lift your head up and look around. Turn your attention to this room, a room that has heard countless discussions, frustrations, and successes, a room where important decisions regarding your city are routinely made. Now take a moment to soak in the presence of the men and women in this room, gathered here at this time and this place to engage in their civic duty, to contribute and work towards creating a better community. Think of the hundreds and thousands of others who are also affected by the ideas shared here. Let all voices be heard and understood equally. It is also often customary to read from a book during an invocation, and tonight will be no different. I will be sharing a quote from J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, in which Professor Albus Dumbledore said, "Differences of habit and language are nothing at all if our aims are identical and our hearts are open. Although our differences may be many, we are bound together in similarity as members of the human species. As humans, we have the capacity to appreciate and thank each other, to utilize compassion and reason in our decision-making. I ask those present to join me in showing gratitude to the men and women that serve the great city of Sioux Falls. We need only to look to each other for guidance and work together to overcome any challenges we may face." Thanks.
Actually, we have plaques for the Nothing Fails